that's it. What is the answer? If love is not enough, what is enough? That's my question. Because if love underpins everything and that's the basis from which you build a relationship on, why is love not enough?
Well, if you're building a house, you've got to have a foundation.
Yeah, which we've agreed is love.
Yeah.
We've agreed to
Well,
that.
yeah. Well, love is like you can think of love as being like Mother Earth.
Yeah.
It contains everything that we need.
Yes.
But we've still got to build the house on top of it. We've still got to have a structure. We've still got to have understanding, because in a relationship you have two people who aren't understanding each other. So this is where we need the skills and the knowledge and support to actually build something that's more solid between two people.
Yes, and that was my thought about how women typically, and me included, misunderstand men.
Yeah.
Because we have this idea that they're misbehaving hairy women.
Right.
And the reason we think that they're misbehaving hairy women is because we judge them by our own standards and go, well, why couldn't you do it the way I did it? And it's because, well, they don't think that way. But most women don't understand that men have a completely different biological base and a different way of approaching everything. Everything is completely different. So, and I'll give you an example. So if you walk into a room as a man, you're typically there for a purpose, because men are single-focused. So
Yeah,
they've got something on their
we're
mind.
the hunters.
You are. You've got one thing on your mind, and that's the only thing you're going for.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing you're looking for. And you don't see anything else. Women walk into a room and they go, oh, my God, the bed's not made. The jocks and socks are on the floor. I've got to pick them up. There's a mug by the side table. I've got to pick that up and clean that up. Why couldn't he do that? Because he doesn't see it, ladies.
Yeah, I just wanted my shirt.
Exactly. So, but women don't understand that men actually don't see it. So a man is single-focused and a woman is multi-focused. And one of the biggest irritants for women in a relationship is the fact that men don't look at things the way we do, but it takes an awareness to actually go, well, okay, he may not see things the way I do, but he brings other qualities, and those other qualities are the things that I need to admire and foster and recognise and appreciate. But it takes a willingness and an awareness.
So why do the women get upset when I don't pick up my socks and pick up that coffee mug and make the bed?
Because they think you're a misbehaving hairy woman.
Right.
And you're not. You're just, you're doing your man thing. And they don't understand what that man thing looks like. Because they expect it was, well, if that was me, I would do that. So why doesn't he? Well, hello, he's not a woman, and he's not a misbehaving hairy woman. That's why he doesn't do it. But what he does do is be single-focused and walk straight to whatever it is he's doing and takes care of business. Where the other side of that, the flip side of that coin is men get really irritated with women because they do 15 things at once.
Yeah.
And, it's like, can't we just go from A to B? Do we have to go via X, Y, Z? And we do the zigzag thing. We go, oh, well, on the way I'm just going to stop here and I'm going to pick that up, and on the way I'm going to do that. And, and it irritates the hell out of men because they just want to go from A to B and they want to focus on where they're going and what they want. And we go, yeah, no.
Yeah, and then like you might have a plan, and in the middle of it you think of something else to.
Yeah, and we change.
Yeah, like all right, I've got it. We're going here, 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 and here, and then all of a sudden, we're not going here, here. We're going here, there, and there, and then. Yes,
and it's very confusing for men, and it's really irritating for them.
Yeah.
And we don't understand that either. It takes a very aware woman to understand a man's focus. It takes time, and it also takes a willingness to go, I'm not always right. Sometimes I might get it wrong, and sometimes there is another point of view, and that other point of view is, it's value-based. It's what's valuable to you. So if you're single-focused and you're going from A to B to get that shirt, and I interrupt you, and I Shanghai you into some other left field direction, you get irritated. Yeah, men do. They get really irritated, particularly if they are very focused and you interrupt them. Because it's like, well, I'm busy, but you don't look busy to us. To us, you look like you're not doing anything. But in fact, you are doing something.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on up here.
Absolutely. But women don't know that. Women don't acknowledge that. They don't understand that. And it takes a lot to go, okay, he doesn't look like he's doing anything to me, but in fact, he's actually doing quite a lot. And I have to trust that he has good reason for doing what he's doing. It takes lessons, it takes skill, and it takes trust, and it takes an awareness to do that. So we started out with, why is love not enough in a relationship?
Well, love's not enough in a relationship.
Yeah, because we need to, what we need is love and understanding.
Yeah.
Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, and a bit more.
And a bit more, okay, so what more?
Well, it's one thing to understand something. Like, for example, people think they understand how to communicate.
Oh, really? I'm not sure they do.
Well, I've many clients come to me and say, well, we're great communicators. So what they mean is they can talk a lot.
Well, they talk at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not communicating.
Yeah.
No.
And another thing, now coming back to where you're talking about men are not hairy women.
Yeah.
Men tend to be more problem solvers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when women are doing that interrupt,
Yes.
they're giving us another problem to solve.
Yes.
So we're already on our primary problem.
Yes. And we're interrupting and giving you a secondary.
Giving a secondary one. So now my attention goes to solving the secondary. It's one of the reasons I get irritated, because this one here was more important. However, to me, it's sounding like what you want me to do is more important, which is like pick up a coffee mug.
Yep. Which to you is a menial, unbelievably ridiculous thing to ask
compared to
where your mission is.
Where my mission is.
Yes.
And then if you throw another couple of things in there.
Yes. Like pick up the socks on the jocks
as well. Yeah. It's like completely thrown off what my primary mission was, and it's delaying my primary mission.
Yes. I understand that. Women in general don't.
Yeah.
But there's a lovely saying that you can either be a frog farmer or a queen. And if you're a frog farmer, you turn princes into frogs because they get really irritated with you because you keep taking them away from their mission. But if you're a queen, you can actually attract a king.
Right.
But in order to attract a king, you need to understand where men are coming from and what their mission is, and don't interrupt them. Don't assume that because they look like they're doing nothing that they are, because they aren't, they're doing something. And if they're speaking or doing something unfocused, let them do it. Don't interrupt them. Let them be. That's the mission of a queen. So if you don't want to be a frog farmer, just quit it. Just stop interrupting. Stop making assumptions that aren't relevant. Stop expecting him to pick up what you see because he doesn't see it. It's actually invisible to him. And allow him to do what he's best at, which is being focused, being single-minded, being a provider, and protecting the women in his life. Here's another thing, ladies. Men love women. They love women. There's lots of women out there who don't understand that. And they feel attacked, and then they bring on the swords, and then become warrior women. Oh, look, I was a great warrior woman. You know, like I had all the swords. I had the shield. I had the, whatever. And we arm up and protect ourselves. But that protection isn't conducive to a loving relationship.
No.
No.
Actually, I've met some women that have been bricklayers.
Yes.
Yeah, they build these wonderful walls.
Oh, yeah, we're really good. I used to have an invisible screen.
Yeah.
I went high tech. I went sort of Star Wars.
Right.
And so when I perceived incoming, because I was getting verbal attacks.
Yeah.
I used to just picture myself as though I was going into like an invisible globe, and I would go zzz, zzz, and I would put up this invisible barrier, and I would picture all of that verbal abuse hitting the barrier and bouncing back. And that was my protection.
You didn't have a lightsaber?
I did. No. Could have used a lightsaber.
Because they deflect.
They, do they?
Yeah, you see them when the shot comes in,
Yeah.
and kill someone else.
Yeah. I wasn't really interested in killing anyone else. I was really more interested in just protecting myself.
Just deflecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Oh, you
actually wanted to send it back to where it was coming from.
Oh,
so
okay.
Almost like a mirror, like set up a mirror and just go, it's not being received here, but I'm going to bounce it back at you so you can see what you're doing.
Right.
And so it was more like a reflection.
Did you add interest to it?
No, I tried not to because it would only inflame the situation. But the invisible barrier was my choice of weapon. So, but the sad thing is that sticking up walls, like being a brick builder, or creating invisible screens, or taking out weapons, is not conducive to a good relationship.
No.
And I say to women that I see doing it now, how's that working for you? And they go, well, it's not. And I said, well, do you want to keep doing it?
But on some level it is. It helps them protect themselves.
Yes. So they have to move from feeling under attack to a place of safety. Yeah. And then from a place of safety to allow themselves to have that place of vulnerability.
So I have many clients, well actually I had it yesterday. I had a client come in and at the end of the session she actually said, I didn't realise how much you love me.
Yes. But that's true of all men. Men just love women.
Yeah.
They love everything about us. And women fail to understand that. They think it's some kind of a sex war. It's us against them. And it's not. It's not. Yeah. So it's nice to be on the same side.
Yeah. So the challenge there is some of the things that men do, women have confusion that it's actually showing them love.
Yes.
Now I think we'll tackle that in the next video.
Okay.
Because that's like a fairly juicy topic to work on.
Okay.
All right. Because that was nice in terms of the viewpoints. Didn't give a big male viewpoint on that. Because from the woman's point of view, they don't understand why men are controlling and they do all these sorts of things and they're narcissistic, etc., etc.
Oh, well, let's not even go to that can of worms. But I think narcissism is a bridge too far. But I think that they need to understand that men are biologically programmed to provide and protect. And the things that they love are acknowledgement of that, appreciation of that, admiration for that.
Okay, so the next take on, all right, so let's do this next bit. Because I do want to get to this one as well. The question that wasn't answered is some women will be frustrated that men don't pick up socks and don't contribute. How do we then turn that around?
Well, we can do that easily, really, by having a conversation, which is back
You're recording, aren't you, Michael?
You're back to conversations. So the conversation is that, garbage bins is a great one. We can stick on socks and jocks drop and not making it to the bin, to the wash basket. The way that you can, as a woman, make a man understand how much it means to you to have those things uncluttered and out of the way, and actually lift the lid and put it in, because sometimes they actually don't make it to lifting the lid. They only get as far as Even if it makes
They
it off
pick-
the floor,
they drop
on
it on
top of the lid, and it's like,
or
wow.
beside.
Yes,
Yeah.
or right beside it. It's
Yeah.
like, could you not go that one step further and lift the lid up and put it in? Because then it's tiny.
Or even in the washing machine. I mean, like,
Oh, well, that's really asking a lot. But yeah, even if we could just get it to the tidy up and put it in the right place, that would be an asset. And I think that the way that a woman can approach this is to make a man understand how it makes you feel as a woman, as a partner, to have that thought and care that you've actually thought about her and deliver that for her. So in other words, if a woman makes a man understand that it's not just irritating to have the jocks and the socks in the wrong place, it actually sends a message to women that they're not important. So women go, well, he can't care for me. He doesn't care about me, otherwise he would do this for me. But we never articulate that.
oh, you do?
We do?
Yeah, it's quite verbal.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
you get upset.
We do, but we don't articulate it in a way that says, not if you...
Yeah,
It's not about, oh, if you don't do this, you don't love me. It's about, it's about how it makes us feel.
correct.
It makes us feel like we're just unpaid maids.
yeah. And
So we're taken for granted, and we're unpaid maids, and the garbage bin's even worse because asking a man to take the garbage bin out and it not go out day after day after day until it's overflowing, and then we have to deal with something that's disgusting and smelly and horrible, makes us feel disgusting, smelly, and horrible. And it's not, a man doesn't understand that's how it makes us feel. Because if they did understand that's how it made us feel, they would happily get rid of it.
yeah,
They would happily go, hon, I had no idea that this made you feel this bad. And if I'd known that, I would have dealt with it a lot earlier. But, personally, I hate waking up in the morning, going into the kitchen, and the bin is unemptied. And there's the smell of, last night's dinner or food or even worse, fish or whatever, or prawn, shells. And the smell is just overpowering. And then, so instead of it being done the night before when everyone went to bed, and you wake up to the morning and the kitchen doesn't smell like rubbish, which is heaven, you actually walk into something that smells like a garbage bin. And it's very unpleasant, and it makes us feel unpleasant. It makes us feel undervalued. It makes us feel like we're not worthy. And that's what we don't say. We don't say it makes us feel unworthy.
yeah. So that's what I was saying, is that you feel unworthy, and the communication comes out in a very ugly way.
Yes, and it comes out as you don't love me.
That's right.
If you loved me, you would have taken that out. Well, that's the wrong approach. The right approach is to say, this is how it makes me feel, so you can understand how it makes me feel, and if you understand that's how it's making me feel, you won't want me to feel that way. Because you love me, so you won't want me to feel that way. So you will want to take the bin out because it makes sense to you that it's making me feel dirty and grimy and like an unpaid maid, and it makes me feel unworthy. Well, no man is who loves you will want you to feel that way.
No.
And they will take it out happily because now they understand how it's making you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why when we started the first video saying love is not enough.
Yeah. No, that's true.
The man loves you
Yes.
and you love them.
Yeah.
But we don't have that, as you're saying, we don't have that understanding.
No.
And so what's happening, like when you were talking about in that first video putting up a shield,
Yes.
well, the man's pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like he's putting up his shield when you're having to go back at them because you're upset because you don't feel valued. And so he's thinking he's being attacked.
Yes.
And that's not facilitating the underlying cause, which is, look, if the rubbish bin is taken out and the kitchen smells nice, I really think of you in a loving way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're more likely to get...
It's as good as getting flowers.
Men, there you go.
Listen to that one. It's as good as getting flowers. It's like, wow.
For those out there that know that flowers cost money, taking the rubbish bin out and having the kitchen smelling nice in the morning It's a nice, cheap option.
It is, absolutely. It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
And because the irritant of it not being there. I mean, I can name half a dozen women straight off whose first complaint is, he never takes the bin out. And it really irritates me.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, here's a simple way of dealing with that.
Yeah.
Make him understand how it makes you feel.
And as you're talking there, I mean, there's another body of work out there called love languages.
Yes.
So I was just thinking that you can tie in, because you're talking about, you know, helping men do these things. Well,
Yes.
if you start to tie in appreciating what they do by making sure you consciously use their love languages to communicate
Yes.
how they love. So, for example, if it's physical touch,
Yes.
then it's like,
Honey,
yeah.
you know that bin that I really don't love being full? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But there's it's hard to do that without it seeming manipulative,
Well,
especially with
No.
touch, because it's such a...
no, touch is easy. It's a kiss or a cuddle. Yeah, it's something like that. Because when it's only going to be a little bit awkward if that's not your natural love language.
Mm.
But if you are in a joyful moment when you're, the rubbish bin's taken out, you're more likely to express that.
Yes. And you know, one of the other love languages is acts of service. So when you're given an act of service or you receive an act of service, you're just showing us how much appreciation.
Yeah.
Like my partner put the beds on. When I got into the bed, it was so warm. And I was like, oh my God, this is like heaven. I'm getting into this lovely warm bed. And he was just beaming because acts of service is his love language. And so he was just as happy as that he'd made me so happy by doing something so simple as turning on the electric blanket. But it's that easy. It is that easy. You just have to understand the other. You have to understand the partner.
Yeah.
And what makes them tick and what they're actually doing. Because most of it will have been done from a point of view of love. It's just that it's being received from a different angle. It's not always being received that way.
Yeah.
It's like my partner also shows love by cooking for everybody. He feeds everybody. I mean, he overfeeds everybody, but he feeds everybody. And I said to his son, you know that this is how he expresses love, because he was getting really irritated with his father for cooking all the time and having goes at him. And I went, well, actually, you have to appreciate that that's how he expresses love, and he's doing this out of his acts of service to you. And so be a little kind to him. Be a little,
So what was the son's love language?
I actually don't know. I haven't actually found that out. I don't know what that is. That's a good question. I don't know what the son's one is.
For those out there, the body work is the 5 love languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. So there's actually 5 love languages, which are gifts, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, and
Gifts.
I've already covered gifts.
You've already covered gifts? Words of affirmation?
Yep.
Gift giving? Physical touch? Acts of service? I always forget one. Which one?
Quality time.
Quality time. There you go. It's obviously not high on my
Obviously not on yours.
not high on my priorities, no.
So yeah, physical touch is very important for you.
Yeah.
What's your order? I'm just curious.
Mine is, it's strange, you know, because I've done this a couple of times with different partners at different times, and I find it changes, which is interesting. And the thing that I found was that what I valued most was the thing I was missing. So for me, naturally, it's not quality time, but in a previous relationship, it came up because there was no quality time.
Yeah.
Acts of service are important to me, and gifts are important to me. But the quality time came up with a previous, now defunct relationship, which surprised me. But I thought, well, that makes sense when that's the very thing that's lacking.
Well, that was a complete absence.
It was. There was a total absence of quality time,
Yeah.
So it became a big, important thing. Yeah. It'd be nice to have a bit of balance. Interesting. Now I completely forgot about
Yes, it's
quality time. It's completely off the radar.
Well, put it this way, it's very hard to get physical touch if
If
someone's
there's no
not
quality time, no one's present.
if they're not present, if they're not even in the same country.
No, not even in the same country.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here?
Well, this was about when, if we want to sum this up a bit, so if men appreciate women,
Yes. And if women appreciate men, that's reciprocal.
it's reciprocal.
Yeah.
It's about lowering the walls, which
Yeah.
the barriers,
Yeah.
and also working with each other so that you actually communicate better. So it's again that same theme that love's not enough.
Yes.
If we learn the skills of communicating rather than getting caught up in some old patterns,
Oh, absolutely.
having resentments build up, which are the barriers, which I think we'll do that next one, like the barriers to
Okay.
communication.
Yes. Well, there's plenty of room for talking about that. There's lots of barriers.
Very good. So if you're liking these videos, feel free to share them with friends, family. There'll be other people out there that are dealing with these same sort of issues. The reason I've done this YouTube channel is so that we can help you have better relationships. Please encourage people to subscribe. We want to get the message out there. And if you really want to get into it, I've created a course. It's called Your Relationship Roadmap. Look at the link below. Awesome course. I'm biased. It simply works. I use the course with my clients. So the content in that course is the same content that I use with my clients. All right, until next time when we are going to look at some of the roadblocks to communication.